Okay, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. We should be on about number 20 now. You're going to have a total of 40 problems. So like I said, that's going to be a huge grade. So make sure you have as close to 40 as you can. Looking at number 20, it states which graph on the number line represents x is greater than 0.8. Make sure you look at that inequality. That inequality is a less than sign. I'm sorry, a greater than sign. It's not a greater than or equal to sign. So that means since it's just greater than, you're going to have an open circle. So if you look at A and D, they're both on 0.8, but one has an open circle right here, and one has a shaded circle. So you want to make sure you get the correct one, and in this case it's going to be D. Always look at the direction that the arrow is pointing in. That's where your line will be shaded towards. So D is the correct answer. Alright, we're moving on to number 21. It says which figure could the net below represent? You should get A. This would be a little bit tricky if you're going fast, only because both of these shapes have triangle sides. So you need to go ahead and look at the base. This base is a triangle base, as you can see that A is. But C, even though it has triangle sides, the base is a square base. Okay, so it would not be C, it would be A. Make sure you look at the base and the sides. Let's go ahead and try number 22. I wrote on this one already, but hopefully you understand it. The table below shows how much money a grocery store receives for selling different amount of asparagus. If the unit rate is constant, what is the total sales of 12 pounds of asparagus? So it's letting you know that this is a constant rate. So there's no relationship that we can point off the top of our head that goes from the left to the right, from X to Y. But if you look at the left column, you see that the additive going down is plus 2. From 4 to 6 is plus 2, 6 to 8 plus 2, 8 to 10 plus 2, 10 to 12 plus 2. So we're going to check to see if the right side does that, and it does. From 10 to 15 is $5, 15 to 20, another $5. So that means that this would be 25 and 12 would be 30. Make sure you go to the correct number they're asking you to look for. So it says, what is the sales of 12 pounds? So you want to make sure you're getting the sales of 12 and not 10. So your answer should be 30. Because as you can see, they're going to include 10 to make sure you know you're going back to your question, because 10 is right there. Alright, number 23. I started this one for you all, but you're going to have to go ahead and finish it on your own. You should know how to do this, so I want to make sure we know how to do this. So I'm going to check to see if you got the correct answer on number 23 on your own. Basically, you're finding the total surface area. So your rectangles are going to be easy because it's just area equals base times height. So 4 times 5 gives us 20 for this one, 20 for this one, and 20 for this one. Okay? Now your triangle, it is going to be base times height divided by 2. So you'll do 3.5 times 4. You'll get an answer, and you're going to divide it by 2. And that'll be your area for this triangle. But don't forget that this triangle here is equivalent to this triangle, so you have to include this area as well. Once you are done, you add all the areas, and you should be getting an answer, one of these answers. You do not, hold on one second. You do not divide by 2 at the end. You're dividing by 2 when you get to the triangle. So make sure that you're not trying to do it again. Just add when you get to that point. I want to get a clear view on the answer, sorry. Still not clear. Okay, well it says A is 54, B is 60, C is 74, and D is 76. So go ahead and here's the problem. Go ahead and try to get one of those answers. That is 3.5. Alright, let's go ahead to number 4. Felicity, I'm sorry, not number 4, number 24. Felicity babysat 2 hours each night for 10 nights. She earned a total of $180. Babysitting, Felicity wants to calculate her hourly rate. Felicity, how much did Felicity earn per hour babysitting? So we've done one like this before, so if you want to try this one first on your own, you can go ahead and try it. But if we look at this, let's go ahead and try to work this out. 2 hours each night, so a total of hours would be She did 10 nights and 2 hours for every night. So these are nights and these are the hours. So you're going to go ahead and multiply to get a total of 20 hours. So in 20 hours, she earned $180. So we're going to create a ratio table. Hours, the money she earns, 20 hours, she got $180. But we're trying to figure out how much did she earn per hour. So per hour means 1. Do not forget that per something means 1. So we're going to go ahead and fill in 1 here because we want to know how much she earned per hour. You divide that by 20 to get to 1. So you're going to do the same on the bottom. Divide by 20 to get to 1. And once you divide it, you know, actually do the math. So you should get 20, 40, 60, 80. I'm sorry, 20, 40, 60, 80. It should end up being 9. This is not really something you're going to do long division on, so sorry. Just go ahead and skip count on that. So your answer should be 9. If you ever wanted to check that, you can do $9 by the 10 hours. I'm sorry, $9 by the 20 hours, and if you get 180, you're correct. All right, moving on, guys. I'm trying to get through these as quickly as I can before my baby starts crying. So if you have any questions, you know, let me know. I don't know if I'm going too fast. Just let me know and in the comment area, and I'll upload a video for you. All right, so let's look at this one. This one's the same thing we've just been doing. So you're going to get the area of this square. Remember, area is base times height. So, and this is actually... Okay, you're going to get the area of the square. Then you're going to go ahead and get the, and you know that this is a square because it's called a square pyramid. So if this side is 5, this side is 5. So you're going to do 5 times 5, and you're going to get 25 as the area here. Okay, then you're going to work out these triangles. So the base for this triangle is 5 because we got it from down here, and the height is 6. So you're going to do 5 times 6. And you're going to get 30. But you need to divide it by 2. So you're going to get 15, 15, 15, 15. Always circle your final area so that you know what you're going to add up. Then you're going to go ahead and add these up, and you're going to get an area. So go ahead and work that out. Number 27. The length of a rectangular parking lot at the airport is 2/3 of a mile. If the area is 1/2 square mile, what is the width of the parking lot? All right, so it's letting us know that the, let me get a clear view of this. Sorry, guys. It's letting us know that the length, so we had the length is 2/3. Okay, the area is 1/2. So we know the length is 2/3 and the area is 1/2. So we know that area equals length times width. So if we already have the length, that means that you would divide, this is the area, your area by your length, okay, to get the width. So you're going to go ahead and do 1/2 divided by 2/3. Now we're going to do keep, change, flip. So that's going to be 1/2 times 3/2. And you're going to get 3/4. So look for your answer. As you can see, that is B. And the reason we divide it is because we know that they had to, if we have the length and we have an area, we know that length is multiplied by something to get this area. So we're going to do the inverse operation, which is division. So that's why we divided. Okay, number 28. The set of numbers 1, 7, 11, and 36 contains values for m. What value for m makes the equation 4m plus 8 equal 36? Okay, so we're just going to solve for this. This is an equation. They gave us this set of numbers. They're telling us that one of these numbers is a value for m. We know that an equation only has one solution, so we're going to go ahead and solve. And the way to solve is by getting this m alone on one side of the equal sign. So here's the equal side. It has to either be on the left side or the right side by itself. Since it's already on the left side, we're going to go ahead and leave it on the left side. And we're going to work on getting everything else away from it. So we're going to do minus 8, minus 8. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and get 28. And then we're going to go ahead and divide by 4. Divide by 4. And the reason we're dividing by 4 is because this is 4 times m. Anytime there's no operation between or no sign between a letter and a number, that means it's multiplication. So you have to do the opposite to get rid of that multiplication. Now you're always going to divide it by the number that's attached to the variable. So if this was 7, we're going to divide it by 7. If this was 8, we're going to divide it by 8. This is 4m, so we're going to divide it by 4. Get rid of the 4s. Whatever you do to the left side, we're going to do to the right side, and that's why we had to divide this by 4. 28 divided by 4 is 7. So you would say that what value of m makes the equation 4m plus 8 true, and you would get 7. Alright, next question. The movie shop sells posters for $7, DVDs for $15, and CDs for $9. Write an algebraic expression to express the total cost for 2 posters, D DVDs, and C CDs. So just an expression, not an equation, alright? So they're telling us that we want total cost for 2 posters. So posters are $7 each. So 7 times 2 would give us 14. Telling us D DVDs, so we don't know how many DVDs they want. We just know that they're $15 each. So 15 times D, however many they do choose to buy. Then we're going to go ahead and add C CDs. We don't know how many CDs they want, but we do know they're $9. So 9 times C. No equal sign because this is an algebraic expression. Alright guys, I hope you're hanging in there. We only have about 10 more and we'll be done. And then you can enjoy the rest of your weekend and go to sleep at 6:30 p.m. to make sure that you're ready for tomorrow. Alright, let's go ahead and look at this one. A recipe requires 3/4 cups of nuts for 1 cake. Enter the maximum number of cakes that can be made using 7 1/2 cups of nuts. So the total is 7 1/2. Alright, that's how many nuts that they have. And we know that every cake requires 3/4. So all you're going to do for this is divide 7 1/2 by 3/4. But before you do that, we need to go ahead and change this into an improper fraction. So 7 times 4 is 7 times 2 is 14 plus 1, 15 over 2. You're going to divide it by 3/4. Division turns into 15 over 2. Keep, change, flip. Okay, and you're going to go ahead and do the math. Go ahead and get me an answer here and change it back into a proper fraction or a mixed number. That should be number 30. Make sure you get me an answer. Alright, there are 50 white stars, 7 red stripes, and 6 white stripes on the U.S. flag. What is the relationship between stars and red stripes? Select ratios that could be used to describe the relationship. Select all that apply. Now this one's really easy, okay? So it's saying ratio. Always check to see exactly what it's asking you. What is the relationship between stars and red stripes, okay? So stars is 50. Stars and red stripes, so you're going to go over here, make sure 7 is for red. 50 to 70. I'm sorry, 50 to 7. So make sure that you're checking the one with the colon, the one set up as a fraction, and also the one set up as with the word 2. Those are all ways that you can represent a ratio. Don't let them confuse you because as you can see they put 50 to 13 in case you added them. Do not add them. Make sure you're reading exactly what it is asking you. Alright, this is another ratio problem. Demetria is tiling a square area of her bathroom floor. For every 13 white tiles used, for every 13 white tiles used, she wants to use 12 gray tiles. On the grid, shade the tiles to show a pattern that would match the ratio of white tiles to gray tiles that Demetria would like to use. Then write a ratio to show the relationship between the number of white tiles to gray tiles. All right, so we know for every 13 white tiles, always, if you want to just rewrite what they're asking you, they want white tiles to gray tiles. Okay, so white to gray. So white is 13, and she wants, for every white, she needs 12 gray. Just always write it in your words or write it out or shorten it so you can make sure you're doing it correctly. So that means that you're going to leave 13 of these white. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And you're going to shade 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay? You're going to shade it better than I did, but that's how it should look. Okay, moving on. All right, it says Carl types 180 words in 2 minutes. At this rate, how many words does Carl type in 5 minutes? This is a ratio problem. I'm going to go ahead and create a ratio table. So, minutes per words. We know that for every 2 minutes, 180. Now, they're saying how many words does Carl type in 5 minutes? We don't really know how to get from 2 to 5, so what you can do, like we've done in the past, is get to 1 and then multiply that by 5. So let's go ahead and do that, because there's no, if this was a 4, we know how to get from 2 to 4 was times 4. But this is not a 4, this is 2 to 5, okay? So we're going to go ahead and actually get to 1 first. So 2 to get to 1, you're going to go ahead and divide it by 2. 180 to get to 2. We're going to divide it by 2, because whatever you do on the top, you're going to do on the bottom. So this is going to be, for every minute is 90 words. So now that we have 1 per 90, we can go ahead and get to 5 minutes. Okay, so you're going to go, to get to 5, we can do a quick times 5. So to get whatever we're going to get for 90, we're going to do 90 times 5. 0 times 5 is 0. 5 times 9 is 45. So my answer is going to be 450. Carl types 450 words in 5 minutes. Okay? So remember, if you cannot get to the number that they're asking you to, always go back to 1. Always go back to 1, because you can multiply 1 by anything. So if you can't get to that 5, always go backwards to 1 and then multiply it by 5. All right, this states the equation shows has an unknown number. Write a fraction that makes the equation true. All right, so we know that this is a division sign. Let me see if I can make this clearer. All right, we know that this is an equation sign. I'm sorry, division sign. We don't know because we can't see. Hold on. All right. Here's a division sign. The equation shown has an unknown number. Write a fraction that makes the equation true. So if this is division, we know that this is going to be flipped and turned into multiplication. So we need to figure out we know that there's going to be some fraction here. So all I did was I know that this is going to be keep, change, flip because of this division sign. So I went ahead and flipped this, and now I'm going to multiply. Figure out what 3 times what would give me 3. That would be 1. 2 times what would give me 4. That would be 2. Okay? Just work backwards on those. Number 35. Last year, the girls' basketball team had 8 5th grade students and 7 6th grade students. What was the ratio of 6th grade students to 5th grade students on the team? So just go ahead and write out what they're asking you. So they're asking you, what was the ratio of 6th grade? You have to put it in the correct order. That's why I'm saying to write it out. 6th grade. I'm sorry, this is so blurry. 6th grade to 5th grade. Jay, can you see if that window's open? the curtains. See if that helps. All right, so what is the ratio of 6th grade to 5th grade? All right, so there are, you're going to go back and read. There are, the basketball team had, thank you, had 8 5th grade students. Now, if you read, they wrote it opposite because they're trying to confuse you, and that's why I always say to write out the ratio that they're asking. So they said had 8 5th grade students, so that's going to actually go here under 5th grade, and 7 6th grade students, so that's going to go here. So your answer should be 7 and 8, which is C, but they're going to go ahead and put 8 to 7 to try to confuse you, so just write out the ratio exactly how they're reading it. And, I mean, write out the ratio exactly how you read it so that you don't get it confused. All right, we're almost done, I promise. All right, this is one of the more difficult ones, but if you take your times and you do PEMDAS on this, you'll be fine, okay? So I'm going to work it out. So you have 5x. Let me put the problem here if you guys want to work it out on your own. All right. (5x to the third power plus 4y to the third power). Now it states when x equals 4 and y equals 3. Guys, what you need to remember about this, remember that anytime you plug in a number, to just plug it in with parentheses. So we're going to plug in 4 for x. You're going to go ahead and plug in 4 for x, but plug it in with a parentheses. Because if you do not, that would be 54, and instead it should be 5 times 4. And then y, 4 to the third power. And then now work out your PEMDAS, okay? P, parentheses is first, but there's nothing in the parentheses but 4. So you're going to go ahead and work out the exponents. Go ahead and transform the exponents and then multiply them by the numbers and then add them, okay? So make sure you get a correct answer for this one. I'm going to be checking your answer on number 36. It's the same thing for number 37. Go ahead and try this one. I'm not going to write it out for you. You'll go ahead and try this one on your own. Remember to plug in everything using parentheses. So C equals 5, so that's going to go over here, and D equals 4.